Good morning. It's Ginny, Tim, and Eli from DSTech in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we're going to talk about 4 words that we say, unless you don't use the conjunction. It's 5 words. That we say almost every single video that we've done over the years, and it's these 4 words: don't click the link. So we're going to talk about that. Make sure you go to our website and sign up for your free assessment and our newsletter. So, Tim, don't click the link. Why? I think you have a story for us.
I do have a story. Recently, it's been kind of around a popular YouTuber recently had his channel deleted, Linus Tech Tips, if you're familiar with that at all. It had, I think, 5 million, quite a large channel. And so he had a little video talking about what happened, how it started with a phishing email. One of his marketing team clicked the link.
So did he have to, doing this video that you saw, he had to create a whole new channel and start all over.
Yeah, I think he had,
right?
He finally got access to his channel.
Oh,
and
he
was
did.
able to like restore it and stuff. But like when he woke up, it was just like, if you go to the channel,
can you imagine?
Gone. Yeah,
I mean, this is his livelihood.
And he had 3 channels that were all deleted. It wasn't just the one. It was like 3 of his channels were all deleted at once. And
can you imagine waking up in the morning and then like
it was 3 a.m. that he woke up. And it was kind of a humorous video. If you look at it online, he shows security footage of himself, like, you know, in his underwear trying to like salvage this at 3 a.m. So it was kind of humorous, but that's how it works. Is at 3 a.m. you get an alert. You want to be troubleshooting and trying to figure this out at 3 a.m. when you're tired. You usually want to have a disaster plan already in place. You know what this is happening. What do we do? And have that game plan already in place for that, so you can just triage it instantly.
Well, maybe he did it on purpose so we could talk about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Instead of the content. Yeah.
So how it all started, from they got an initial email. You know, one of his marketing team got an email like, hey, we want to sponsor your YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't even in the initial email that the phishing link happened. What they do is they wait for you to reply. You're like, oh, sure, give me more information about your sponsorship. Then in the follow-up emails, we'll have to send you a zip file or a PDF or a package that contains then the malware. And that's where then you're clicking like the package offering because it makes it look more legitimate. It's a two-prong email instead of just one. And the user clicked the PDF, what looked like a PDF. It was actually a screensaver file. It was a .scr file. So if he was paying attention to the file type, you would have caught that. Also, the file is 700 megabytes in size, which is why his antivirus didn't catch it, because it was padded with a lot of fake data. Because if a file is that large, a lot of times the AV scanners don't pick it up as quickly because they think it's just too big to scan and deep into it. When you actually extract the blank data, the malware was only 200 kilobytes.
Oh, wow.
So if you have an enormously large PDF, that's also a huge sign it's probably malware. You know, you're usually not dealing with 700 megabyte PDFs. If it's just an introductory offer, you know, it's going to be a one-page thing. What is that? So all those things combined, you kind of just missed it. But I get it. You're marketing. You might click through 50 offers a day. You're just kind of going through the motions. He clicked the PDF. Nothing happened. He just went about his day like no big deal. And then obviously at 3 a.m. is when the attackers finally used that. So what it did is it took the session. The session token is what it's called. So if you know what a session token is, you know, give yourself a cookie. But realistically, that is basically when you log into.
Did you get a cookie?
I didn't get a cookie.
You didn't get a cookie.
When you log into a website, it saves the login data in your browser in a temporary session. So it knows that like you're logging in from this computer, this browser, it is for sure you. And so what happens
Good
is
explanation. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cookie.
Yeah, kind of like a cookie, you know, in your
on
browser.
your browser, sure.
You know? So they were able to steal that. And what happens is when they log into YouTube using this, they're pretending to be at that computer. They don't need the username and password. They don't need the 2-factor because it automatically assumes it's already authenticated.
Oh.
So, you know, when you log into Facebook, there's a little checkbox, remember my login?
Yeah.
That's essentially what a session token is doing. Is it's allowing you to, so next time you go there, it'll automatically log you in.
Use them all the time.
And most sites, you know, are like 24 hours or security sites and things like that. But that's what it was, is they were able to just instantly log in without password, without 2-factor, anything, by taking that session. And so what if he knew that's how he was being attacked, Linus could have instantly just woken up, revoked the session, and then the person would have lost access. But because it looks like they actually have your password and they're actually hacking you the traditional means, that's what he was triaging at the beginning. So it took he didn't get to it as quickly as he could have if he knew what it was specifically. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Should you use those, you know, like saved sessions?
I mean, personally, I always like to just do the least amount. Like we have one portal that we log into that gives you an option to remember me for 30 minutes all the way up to 24 hours, and you can pick. And then I'll just pick 30 minutes if I know I'm kind of in and out for the little bit of time. So someone isn't going to log in. Realistically, if you have our security software and all this kind of stuff, you'd be fine if you're on a secure endpoint, because if you had our software, for example, and you were logging into your Office account and this happened to you and your Office account with our software, we would have been alerted to it before that happened, because, for example, if you try to log into your computer at 3
in the morning, okay.
we know this is outside of the bounds that Ginny normally logs in,
What's
so we'll
going
get an
on?
emergency
Yeah.
alert ticket, and then we have a planned process in place when we get an emergency alert for an invalid account sign-in. Our first thing is to log in and sign that user out of all sessions, which revokes the session key from all your mobile phone, your browser, your every computer that you're logged into right now. It would instantly log you out of all of them. Then we will call up the user and be like, hey, what's going on? We saw this. We just wanted to make sure it was legitimate.
And then the user's like, oh, that wasn't me.
Yeah, there wasn't me. Or they were like, oh, that is me. I'm vacationing now in Florida. Because it maybe they're somewhere that they normally aren't, and that flagged this as well. It's not necessarily time; it could be travel. Maybe you logged into your laptop and then you forgot to turn on your VPN. So then you turn on your VPN and you do it properly, so it looks like you logged in from Florida, then Michigan 2 minutes later. There's weird little things it looks for, but we'll be alerted to that, and then we know just to sign the user out and then call. And yes, it may interrupt your work if you're in the middle of something, but you'd rather err on the side of caution.
Gotcha.
So we have a process for this, but it's the same thing with any. He just had a YouTube channel. He wasn't security as conscious as we were.
What about at home though? Because at home I use that a lot.
To remember me.
Yeah.
That's why I always log out every time. I never like to personally. I don't ever remember my sign-in stuff. I re-sign in every single time because of this attack vector that's out there now.
Okay.
Because if you remember me, and it's a thing that's forever. Right. Most websites are designed that they'll revoke it automatically after so much, and they should have secondary checks, which is another thing. Yes, Linus should have had, say, his marketing person. That account should not have as much permissions. If you log into YouTube with a marketing account, why is that person an administrator who can delete the channel? Like, they shouldn't even be allowed to edit the channel as a marketer.
That's true.
Depending, what privileges you want to give them. So the idea of least privilege, zero trust that we do
the word
here,
I was looking for.
That's what you want to do.
I know that one.
All our accounts, when we log into our computer day to day, are not admin accounts. And that's for a reason, is that if our accounts were to be breached, we don't want someone acting as an admin, being able to do things. We have a separate account just to make special changes for that kind of a thing. So that's the same thing if his security was set up, the right person had the right access without giving too much privileges. Too often in computers or when you're getting your work done, people see it as a attack on their trustworthiness or their ability to work. They don't understand the security level of it. We're like, why can't you just give me access? I'll get my job done faster. It's like, well, there's a reason for this. You can't just give you blanket access. So a lot of people, their ego gets hurt when you take away their access to certain things that they may have prior, but a lot of times you got to brush that off. It's nothing to do with you personally. It's just the way the world is now in security and how we have to do that.
Right? Because when we first I remember when it got more and more tight security.
You're losing more and more access.
Yes. I was like,
shorten the leash.
Why can't I do this? Like, I used to be able to just do this, right? Now I can't. And it's just that's why.
The reason for it. So you have
my ego didn't get hurt, but I was just like, this is annoying.
Well, especially techs, we like to get into stuff. So when techs lose their privileges, they get a little, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure. A little huffy, but it's for a good reason. If you're a true and understand security, you won't be, you'll understand why.
By the way, we did have a whole episode on Zero Trust.
Okay.
With Dave. So if you want that, drop a comment. I'll find it for you and give you the link.
Right. So that's kind of a big thing, is just making sure to have a good process in place when something like this is happening, have good alerts, have a good, because he was at 3 a.m. trying to figure out what was going on, what do I do? And it was just, it's slower, where if it happened to us, one of our customers at 3 a.m, we would get an alert, we would have someone take care of it, and there's already a process that would have worked through ahead of time. So having a good disaster recovery plan and having all that kind of stuff is important. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And it all started again just from someone in marketing clicking that link. And so another advice would be is if you click a link, if you click a link and you think nothing happened, let your security team know. Be like, hey, I clicked this one thing. It didn't seem to do anything. It's probably nothing, but can you check on it just in case? And maybe they could have seen that, oh yeah, it's actually exfiltrating this data and sending it to a weird server somewhere that we have no idea.
Way better to be safe.
So.
And let them know. So in the whole, if we boil it down to 4 words.
Yep. This whole episode can just come to 4 words.
Don't
Don't
click the link. We got the lesson. We understand the assignment. So, all right. Make it a great day. We'll see you next time. Go to dstech.net to sign up for your free assessment and email us or drop your questions below the video. We will be happy to answer them. Make it a great day.